Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another presentation at Automation Launch 2020. My name is Chris Duncan. I'm the Trade Show and Event Specialist for Balluff Incorporated, and I will be the host for today's discussion. Before we begin, we would like to go over a few housekeeping items to improve your experience. First off, for the best viewing experience, we recommend closing any programs or browser sessions running in the background that could cause issues. Streaming video is bandwidth intensive, so closing any unnecessary browser tabs will help conserve your bandwidth. If you have questions regarding the presentation, you have two different options. For those of you that are viewing this presentation as soon as it is released on the platform, please use the chat feature on the virtual trade show platform to submit any questions. Our two panelists today are currently stationed at the U.S. Exhibition Room awaiting your questions. If you are viewing this presentation in the future, please use the Contact Me After This Event feature, and we will reply back to your message shortly. For those of you that are watching live, today is day 2 of Automation Launch. The focus for today is about the packaging, food, and beverage industry. There will be 2 presentations today about the packaging, food, and beverage industry, and the exhibition room is staffed with some of Balluff's packaging, food, and beverage industry experts. As you can already tell, we're doing something a little bit different than the live presentations that we have been holding throughout the week. We are excited to share this recorded discussion between 2 of Balluff's automation experts on making existing machines smarter, how IO-Link is an Industry 4.0 enabler for rebuilds and retrofits. This discussion will focus specifically on how IO-Link benefits the packaging, food, and beverage industry and how to get the most out of your machines. Now, instead of a live PowerPoint presentation, we are going to cut to an expert discussion between packaging, food, and beverage industry manager Rob Yurgovich and technical sales specialist for controls architecture and IIoT Shashir Rege. Rob is Balluff's sales manager for the packaging, food, and beverage industry. He has been with Balluff for 6 years and has worked in the industrial automation industry for the last 15 years. Much of the time has been spent working closely with machine builders and end users within the packaging, food, and beverage industry to help automate their processes. Shashir is Balluff's technical sales specialist for controls architecture and IIoT. Shashir has an MBA and a master's degree in electrical engineering. He has also been with Balluff for 6 years and has worked in the industrial automation and robotics areas for the last 20 years. In a wide array of manufacturing industries, including automotive, packaging, aerospace, and medical. Without further ado, let's join Rob and Shashir for Making Existing Machines Smarter, how IO-Link is an Industry 4.0 enabler for rebuilds and retrofits. And Rob, my first question is going to be for you. Why are manufacturers looking to make their machines smarter? What are the trends that you see in the industry?
Sure, thanks, Chris. Some of the major trends we're seeing are workforce attrition leading to brain drain. So experienced operators and maintenance people are leaving the workforce, and with that, tribal knowledge about that factory or even about a machine is going away. Additionally, there's a lot more need for shorter runs in manufacturing. In consumer packaged goods. And there's more personalization. Consumers are driving demand for more package options, and that results in a lot more changeover. They're having to change machines over more frequently. And more manufacturers are starting to explore how to implement digitalization in their operations. So as a result, with those trends, consumer packaged goods and food and beverage manufacturers want machines that are easier to operate and maintain. That translates to things like getting more health information from machines to enable guided maintenance or even predictive maintenance, enhanced flexibility and agility, so faster changeovers, airproofing changeovers through automation or operator guidance. And then with regard to industrial Internet of Things or Industry 4.0, Some of the concepts we're seeing customers implement are things like visualization, remote access, or even augmented reality.
So, Rob, we know that technologies are available today with the new machinery, but often we hear that it's a large investment to replace equipment. That's not always realistic or feasible. So, what options do these manufacturers have to compete effectively in the marketplace?
Right. It is possible to add smart machine functionality to existing machines through a controls retrofit or an electrical upgrade. Using IO-Link controls architecture provides a great and cost-effective way to do this. So manufacturers can realize the benefits of implementing smart machine in the way of improved OEE or reduced downtime, however they measure it, and they can do that without having to incur large capital expense.
Okay. Now, Shashir, can you explain a little bit about what is IO-Link?
Sure, Chris. Hello, everyone. So the best way to explain what IO-Link is comparing it with the existing technologies that are out and being used today actively. So as we all know, sensing technologies have progressed leaps and bounds over the last 20 years. Almost every sensor now has a microprocessor or MEMS chips or both. And these sensors gather tremendous amounts of information. But unfortunately, with the traditional way of communicating with the sensor, which is analog or digital, for example, we can only receive the process data. And the choice we made with that communication basically restricts us in getting all the other information that the sensor collects. By switching to IO-Link, we kind of unleash the sensor's true potential. The IO-Link offers the bidirectional data communication instead of a signal communication. So we can configure the sensor, we can set alerts, we can get the process data in actual engineering units so that we don't have to convert or scale the data that we were receiving earlier. Of course, IO-Link is a lot more than that, but to give a short answer to you, it's basically a data communication that allows sensor to provide a lot more diagnostics and process information that we never had before.
And so, Shashir, if the customer wants to use IO-Link for simplifying their network architecture, do they have to use IO-Link sensors or instead of standard sensors like proxes and photo eyes and analog sensors?
That's a good question. Well, IO-Link is very flexible and it can interface with wide variety of devices such as your discrete I/O, analog I/O valve. So you don't have to change your existing devices to incorporate IO-Link. IO-Link resides next to the existing devices and still offers the full functionality, even if you're choosing it for entire controls architecture. So I can give a quick example here is if you want to incorporate a condition monitoring sensor that provides vibration and temperature or humidity data, you can just add that sensor to your existing architecture to get the capabilities that you need. Does
Okay.
that help?
Yeah, I think that answers my question. Rob, do you know of any examples using IO-Link like that you could share?
Sure. In the case of a rebuild or a retrofit, I can give a few different examples. I mentioned that changeover is a big area of improvement in food and beverage manufacturing. And so IO-Link has started to be used a lot for changeover and recipe changes. An example of this is with like a photo eye application. Sometimes if you've got a package color change, maybe you've got a bottle or something like that that changes from clear to shiny. In a normal situation, an operator or a maintenance technician would have to go out to the sensor when they were changing from recipe A to recipe B and adjust the potentiometer on that sensor. Now, with IO-Link, we can link the set points to the recipe such that when they change the recipe on the machine, the new set points are already sent to the sensor with no manual operator intervention, which eliminates the chance for errors and even the time it takes to go walk out to that sensor and make that adjustment. In terms of device health monitoring, IO-Link, as Shashir mentioned, enables bidirectional communication. So the sensors can communicate back issues that they're experiencing. An example would be alignment issues. If it's installed at a certain angle and it gets knocked askew, it can generate an alert to tell an operator or maintenance person to go and readjust that. Or signal quality. If the sensor is getting dirty, it can communicate that hey, I'm over here, I'm working still, but my signal quality is not very good. Somebody may want to come wipe off the lens or I'm going to fail. Or even something like useful life, so they can plan replacements in advance. Shashir mentioned environmental monitoring. There are sensors available that can monitor vibration, temperature, relative humidity, and it provides insights into the machine performance, and the end user can generate alerts based on some preset thresholds. In short, what we're enabling is the machine to tell you it's going to fail before it fails.
That's interesting. Yeah, the way that it can tell if it's dirty or anything like that. Yeah. Well, Shashir, do you how can IO-Link help with ease of maintenance?
Good question, Chris, again. So there is multiple ways IO-Link can help with the maintenance or ease of maintenance. First would be it offers that automatic device replacement feature, which is built into all IO-Link devices. What it allows you to do is if a device fails during operation, all you have to find is the right type of device, and you plug it in, and the IO-Link gateway can automatically re-parameterize that sensor to get the right parameters set up. So you don't have to toggle the switches or do anything, no calibration necessary. All of it is done for you automatically. So that's one way that it helps with ease of maintenance. The other is IO-Link has spurred a lot of innovation in automation area. There is lots of process visualization devices. For example, Balluff's smart lights is a great example where you can actually set some information that allows maintenance people to alert ahead of time that there is going to be some problems. So for example, if it's a palletizing cell and the pallet is getting full, which is going to cause a stoppage on the cell, you can alert the forklift driver or the person who empties those pallets or take those pallets out through these smart lights, telling that, hey, there is a full pallet and needs to be emptied. And you can adjust the frequency of that display or whatever not. So through the visualization processes, you can alert other supervisors and plant floor guys about the process, how it's helping. The other thing that IO-Link brings is port level diagnostics. So with our traditional wiring methods, short circuits or overcurrents are hard to detect and find. With IO-Link, you get this alert right on the port as well as in your PLC saying, hey, on my device number 7, the port number 14, it has a short. So you can actually direct the maintenance guys right to the spot and recover faster. So that helps you with making sure your plant is running more efficiently, your machines are running better. The other side of IO-Link is for IIoT-ready applications. So IO-Link enables, since it's a data communication, there is a lot of data it can collect. And that data, the gateway modules can transfer that data to the third-party softwares or tools where you can build onboard or dashboards for alerts and maintenance. So there is multiple ways IO-Link actually helps ease the maintenance of the machine or even the plant floor, the entire plant floor.
Okay, Shashir. Well, I'm going to get a little bit more technical. I want to ask you specifically, so if customers have Ethernet IP or Profinet or EtherCAT, how can they integrate IO-Link?
Very good. So IO-Link is a device-level technology. The networks that you just mentioned, Ethernet IP, Profinet, or EtherCAT, these are all control-level networks. So IO-Link sits underneath those networks, and it is completely transparent to any of those networks. So it works well with all the networks that you mentioned about and more. In fact, it actually enhances the performance of these networks by helping to reduce the number of network nodes that are on in the plant floor or on the machine itself. So that way you have a less number of nodes, less number of IP addresses to manage. So that helps you keep your cost of integration down. So as you don't need so many of managed networks or managed routers and switches and things of that nature. So yeah, that's a very good question, Chris. So IO-Link is completely transparent.
Okay. And Rob, I'm going to ask you this: is IO-Link available to critical areas of packaging, food, and beverage, such as like high pressure washdown?
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. And it's important. IO-Link gateways and devices are available with IP69K ratings for washdown. Presentation later today will be on our new SAMS product line, which is even going to have enhanced IP69K ratings for greater life and resistance to those environments. And we're continuing to evolve this portfolio to include more and better hygienic designs as well.
Okay. Well, Rob, can you summarize what types of applications that IO-Link can enable for packaging, food, and beverage manufacturers?
Yep. We've already mentioned condition monitoring for predictive maintenance, ease of maintenance, and improved changeover. But IO-Link can also enable things like traceability, access control, change part identification for airproofing processes, and even automated tool changing for robots.
Okay. Do you all have any closing thoughts that you would like to leave our viewers with?
Sure, Chris. I'll go first. It's very important to look at IO-Link as a technology enabler because it not only solves today's problems, for example, simplifying the architecture, simplifying wiring, reducing your total cost, overall cost of your systems architecture. It adds that maintenance features, lots of maintenance features. But on the other side, it also enables you for tomorrow's applications, for data collection, that allows you to have a predictive analytics in future, predictive maintenance, remote diagnostics, and many more applications that it can enable. As an industry, we are barely scratching the surface with the innovation that IO-Link has started. And I'm sure it will continue on for a decade to come. So with that, I think it makes sense to look into IO-Link further. Rob?
Yeah, well said, Shashir. And I would just add that if customers out there are looking to take an existing machine that they can't yet replace with new equipment, but make it smarter in some way to reduce downtime, to improve condition monitoring functionality, they should really take a hard look at IO-Link. It's an easy, intuitive way to wire up the machine, but when they select the right sensor, they can also bring that smart machine functionality to the table, whatever that is in their situation, and realize some improvements in their productivity and uptime.
Thank you very much, Rob and Shashir, and thank you to everyone for joining us today. Remember, if you are watching this presentation live, please use the chat function in the US Virtual Exhibition Room to speak directly with our presenters and ask them any questions. For those of you that are watching this presentation in the future, please feel free to pause the video and write down our presenter's email and LinkedIn URLs. I'd like to take a moment to remind everyone to visit the US Exhibition Room to learn more about the latest manufacturing technologies and chat with BALF experts. Also, for those of you watching live, we will have 3 more presentations this week. At 2 p.m., there will be a live presentation on Smart Automation and Monitoring System from Greg Molinaro, America's Packaging, Food, and Beverage Industry Manager. Tomorrow, we will have 2 live presentations over metalworking. At 9 a.m., there will be a presentation over the Internet of Things in the press shop from Metalworking Industry Manager Jason Hughes. And at 2 p.m. tomorrow, there will be a live presentation on operational excellence in the automotive industry from America's Mobility Industry Manager Greg Soden. Thank you for your attention during this presentation. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I hope that you are enjoying BALF's automation launch. Please chat with our experts and let us know how we can help make sure that you are prepared for 2021.